good morning,
Good afternoon.
or good evening, depending on what time frame you're listening to this 1,000th
This is
episode.
the first episode of being here.
It is the very first.
It is the very first episode of being here.
And why do you say that?
Because whatever we've done before is irrelevant to the moment. You know, we can discover this one new. So it's like, like this is the beginning of the rest of your life. I mean, right now, today.
I heard an interesting commercial yesterday on television, just a little piece of one. It was probably selling some kind of drug, but
Probably.
somebody said, averages, I'll be alive, and they said the amount of days, and 76 summers. So I guess the average life expectancy is 76.
Right.
And I thought, wow, I'm on my 68th. I better appreciate every moment.
Well, I'm on my 85th.
I know.
I better appreciate sitting here with you.
That's right.
Because I do.
We've been sitting side by side for 44 plus years. And this is our 1,000th episode. Our very first one was on May 16th, 2007. Thank you to Cheryl. I believe it's Haldy. It's so far away. She approached us to be on the Voice America Network to do a radio show, internet radio show, which eventually morphed into podcast. And here we are. And we've learned so much and unlearned so much. Meaning we used to really have a pressure to do it right, say it right, make sure what you heard from us had lots of content and value. And we've morphed into being here and being ourselves.
Allowing ourselves to be absolutely okay exactly as we are and exactly as we're not, without trying to produce a result, to allow the moment to be exactly as it is. That's where the magic lives, you see. The magic doesn't live in some future event. Your life is taking place in the current moment. That's it. The future doesn't get here until it does, and it always gets here as a moment of now. And the past is irrelevant because it already happened. Now, there's this strange psychological idea that the past influences how you are. And I'm certain that where you're born into, the culture you're born into, has an immense influence on who you turn out to be. If you're born in some ghetto city where, life expectancy for young men is very low and purpose doesn't exist in the people you were raised around, then you won't have much purpose going forward in your life. It won't matter. But this moment allows you to be the master of your own experience of living. See, when you're here, not in comparison to any other moment, life is exquisite.
I hope you've been enjoying listening. It's such an art to simply hear without having to filter or work on it or apply it, just
or agree or
here.
Disagree with it.
As you know, if you listened to us before, we do finish each other's sentences. We have some amazing, amazing guests on today. We'll introduce the first one shortly. But first, thank you. Thank you for listening. Without you, we wouldn't have been a top-rated podcast / radio show for all these years. And
interestingly enough, I've never considered us to be a top-rated podcast or radio show. And yet, somebody looked it up and found statistics that we're in the top 5% of all podcasts.
In the world.
Yeah. And I only speak one language, and that's almost English.
There's always more than you or less than you. So really, it's not about that. It's about you and that you're listening today. And we honor you. And let's take our first guest.
Okay.
Adam, welcome to being here once again. And tell people who you are,
Where
where
you
you're
are.
zooming in from.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Adam, zooming in from New York City at home. Um, and leading up to today, you guys asked if we had like a favorite episode to bring. And my favorite episode was 14 years ago when I called in to your at the time it was the internet radio show. It was a live taping.
Mhm.
Um, and the topic was transformation in the workplace. And so much has happened for me since then. I'm so appreciative that I had you guys as mentors then and all through these years. I think one of the things that stood out for me were one of them was that I said that I was finding myself bored at work or having difficulties at work. And the first thing you said, Shia, was like, well, is it only at work or are you having that at home too? And I was like, yeah, I have it at home too. And you're like, well, then you're blaming it on work, but it actually, the work has nothing to do with this. Just so you know, which I was like, wow, that was very helpful. And then also the other one was how much we believe our minds and what our thoughts are saying. And that's one that I I am very good at forgetting and getting reminded of. Just that the chatter in my mind is exactly that. And I can either listen to it and believe that I'm bored or whatever, or I can just not take it as necessarily true. Um, yeah.
So if you're not taking it as true, then what happens? I mean, are you engaging in what's in front of you? Are you listening? What? Okay, so it's all great concept to say I can
Yeah.
treat it as if it's not true. I'm just wondering how you deal with things these days.
So when I realize that what's going on in my mind isn't necessarily a fact, it's just chatter, um, I relax and I can look at what's in front of me and I can stop making all these assumptions about what's been going on, how I've been. I can just it just gets me back to where I am, and I can focus on what's in front of me. Um, I think back in 2012, I would get distracted at work, and coming to your seminars and things like that, I can see how I always think about the TV show Severance on Apple TV. I
Mm.
mean, I haven't seen all of it, but I've seen a few episodes. And in Severance, the concept is that they give everyone at this company an operation so that when they walk into work, they forget everything else. Their life is only work. And when they leave work, they can't remember what happens at work and they're in their life. And it's a drama. They're actually very upset that they don't know what's going on. But I find that so relieving. And that is how I see work. Like when I leave my office, I forget all of the things that have happened at work. Like I feel like I am in an episode of Severance, but it's not a bad thing. It's a great thing.
Well, maybe you're in your experience of living, you see.
Right.
See, here's the thing. Most people rehash thoughts over and over. So it's not that you have new thoughts over and over. You have same old thoughts that run through and have forever.
Yes.
And then there's the possibility of being in your experience of your life in the current moment. And then everything's new. So I've never seen the show Severance,
Hmm.
but uh, I can understand your appreciation of being able to let go of those things that aren't right in front of you that cloud your experience or cloud your
Yeah.
mind.
I also imagine that makes your ability to be effective and creative at work uh, really optimal because you're not rehashing things all the time. So when you get there, things you might have been not able to figure out, or you might have if you worked on them, you would have been struggling. It's like a new moment, and you see it newly. And in the background,
Yes.
often things start to sort themselves out on their own while you're engaged fully in the rest of your life.
Yeah. Yeah. I love when I come in on Monday and I look at what I have to do, even if it's things from the Friday just before, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot how I found this thing on Friday so stressful, and now it's like it never happened, and I can look at it fresh today. Like I really take a break when I take a break, which is so nice.
That's great.
My impression or experience of you is that you've grown up with us.
Yes,
My
that's true.
my question is, we May 16th, 2007. So we're talking about 19 years ago. How old were you 19 years ago?
What was May 16th? That was probably
Well, how old were you 19 years ago today?
19 years ago. Like
Subtract
sorry,
20
it's
from your
20 years
age.
ago, so it's like 25, 24, 25.
Were you still in school yet then?
No, I was done with school by then, but I started coming to your seminars in high school. I was 17 when I started.
I remember you calling into our radio show when you were at George Washington
Was it to
University.
the
Yeah.
radio show, or was it individually? You're talking about your difficulty with studying and how you could get back into studying. It was a similar
Those
conversation
were
to the later one, the I'm
yeah.
bored.
Yeah, well, so the transformation in the workplace episode was a summer internship between semesters of school. So I was still in
Ah,
school at that time,
I see.
Gotcha.
Okay.
and I got this amazing internship at the Naval Research Lab, where I was doing research projects that are top secret. I don't know if it was that, a level of secrecy
So
that I couldn't
you
share, but
can't tell us now because you'll have to kill
No,
us.
you'll
Yeah.
kill us,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Kill us. Okay, got it.
My lips are sealed. Um, but yeah, no, the homework, those, I mean, I did have one-on-one sessions with you, but those one-on-one sessions were not about homework. Those were on the radio show that I would call in. So those are documented.
So lovely that you're still in our lives as a friend, and
Yeah.
also you still invest in listening to the podcast and making sure other people have that opportunity, and coming to seminars, Adam, because it's like me and Pilates. I've been doing Pilates for more than 30 years, and Shya was just telling me today how climbing out of the river, he was so strong in his core muscles and it was easy. And I feel like this is kind of like, well,
I'm not Aquaman.
yeah.
However, I found climbing out of the river this morning, climbing up the bank of the river, easy, whereas in past years it wasn't. And I do Pilates.
And our little investments here, there, it adds up. And so I
Yeah.
admire that you've kept investing in yourself.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm.
Yeah, I so appreciate it. I mean, listening to that the episode, the transformation in the workplace was July 25th, 2012. And I mean, so much has happened out of coming to your seminars and calling into radio shows and all of that. I've got a full life now. I've got a husband, 2 cats, an apartment, a great job, like, and I don't
And a
I,
great relationship with both your parents, which wasn't always the
yes,
case.
true. Yes. Yeah,
So,
very cool. And yeah, and it's like night and day. It's very
by
cool.
the way, for those of you who are listening, you don't have to take notes. You can go up to our archives. And if you have like, workplace or transformation in the workplace, or if you type it in the search bar, it will show the archives of all the times we've talked about those subjects. So you can just be here and enjoy Adam, or you can always listen again if you want to grab the date. So thanks for being with us today,
Yes,
Adam.
thank
What
you.
a treat.
Hey, It's time for the listener feedback spotlight.
It's where we get to hear from people in this amazing listenership and transformation community talking about what's happening in their lives.
I'm Lenore from Montclair, and one of my favorite things to do is attend Living Made Easy seminars by Ariel and Shya. What I found is I meet the most incredible people, and then I discover I'm incredible too. Who knew?
Do you want to have well-being with consistency? Connect with people all over the world from the comfort of your own home at Ariel and Shya's lively interactive Living Made Easy virtual seminars. Join any of their 2-hour online events or take a deep dive into the magic of being you at a virtual weekend seminar. Come on, let's connect. Find out more and register at transformationmadeeasy.com.
This weekend is Creativity and Intuition, our in-person course in New York City. The Monday night following is an in-person course also in New York City. It's not too late for you if you'd like to join us. I know that it's an easy first bite to come to a virtual seminar. We have our Living Made Easy seminars virtually, which kind of came into focus after COVID.
Yeah.
As did our taking over the podcast. So transformationmadeeasy.com is a great place to find out everything that's upcoming.
That's right.
Let's take our next guest.
All right.
All right, Stephanie, welcome to being here.
Hey guys, this is Stephanie from Rosengarten, which is a little south of Hamburg in Germany.
So nice to have you with us today.
Thank you. It's so nice to see you. I've been listening to your conversation with Adam, and I was like, man, I know you 26 years now. It's amazing. And still,
I wish people could see you and see your beautiful art that's behind
what
you now.
what I'm taken by is how organized you are. All your colors and pens and everything here
are lined up.
Lined up, right? Exactly.
Mm.
I really love when it's organized. I also have to give credit to my friend Sandy, which she's doing things like how to organize and clean up your space. And I did a little info evening with her lately, which prompted me to organize it even more beautiful, which is what you see.
Yeah, it's not just organized, it's beautiful.
Mm.
Like it matters, you matter. It's so lovely to see you treat yourself that way.
Thank you. Yeah, beauty matters to me, which is actually something I wanted to talk about. I've been listening to a podcast you did in May this year, that aired in May this year, with a guy named Todd. And the title of the show is Being You. And Todd is talking about himself. I paraphrase probably, but in the essence, he's talking about that he's hiding himself, that he's hiding his brilliance. And he said something like flying under the radar. And the whole conversation did something to me that I'm so excited about. Like the way I paint and the way I'm doing my artwork really shifted after that conversation. And I have a hard time to explain it. It was brilliant before. It's not like anything was wrong with my artwork. It was already really beautiful. But I feel like I stopped being careful. It's like there is more spontaneity in it. There is more. If I wanted to be quiet, I paint quietly. If I wanted to have wildness or power, I go like, well, people can't see me, but it's like in the way I use my brush, it feels like more expressive. I gave up being careful and not destroying anything. And it really shows in the outcome. And I'm so excited about it. It's like I'm so grateful for this show.
You know what's so neat about that? When Todd was talking about flying under the radar and hiding himself, he was being willing to reveal how he found himself in that moment or in recent times. And we've had so many guests who've been so giving of themselves. I'm absolutely certain he had no clue. Someone would listen and go, oh, I'm not being myself. And it doesn't sound like you made a decision to be a better you. It's just as if something unlocked inside you without you having to talk to yourself about it.
Yes, exactly. It wasn't even that I didn't make a decision at all. It started showing up, and like a month later, I was looking at my work. I was like, whoa, something is happening. Like it just, and then I remembered that conversation with him. And it was so cool. And I really loved something you said to him. And actually, Shya said it in the beginning when you introduced it today a bit, that the culture we come from has an influence of us. And you talked to Todd about also that, like flying under the radar might be his strongest skills in moment, and that there was a survival skill for his ancestors. Like that was something really that helped them to survive, that like flying under the radar was important. And I was thinking about my grandmother who survived 2 world wars, and she always told me to be modest, don't pull too much attention on you. And I just made so much peace with her when you talk about that. I was like, oh my God, she was such a lovely person, and she survived these horrible times. And I think hiding was the only thing to survive for her, really. Like, there was no other way. So,
Right.
You just said that and it gave me goosebumps. I think many of us don't think to be grateful for everything our families went through in order for us to be alive. So, thank you so much for
Spending your time
with us today, joining us today, sharing your experience. It's really, really a treat to have you.
Thank you guys for doing all this. Really makes a big difference.
Selba, as they say, it takes one to one.
Thank you.
Shall we take our next guest?
Yes.
Okay, Ralph. Also in Germany, but he'll tell us where. Welcome to being here. Where are you?
Hey, I am in Cologne, Germany. And I'm very happy to be with you guys on that special episode today.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. And my episode that I'm referring to today is from 2013, actually. I might have listened to it a couple of years later, also in the archive already. But when you ask us for a title that came up with us like a favorite episode, that title was there immediately, and it is United We Stand. And that title stayed with me through all those years, with me and my husband. I listened to it, I guess, when we started to build our own company, our own theater company. We bought a theater, we started producing things. We were both actors at that time. And we got employees, we had all that all of a sudden. And in that episode, a couple that is married, has also 2 children, and is running a company together. They were talking about that they are, as a couple, stand together, united. And looking back now, all those years, I see like 3 layers of it, what happened for us, that in the company we did that. There were a lot of people that tried to like divide us, employees that came to me and said, oh, Arne said, and all those things that they tried to split.
Like what they probably did with their parents.
Right.
Right.
Mommy said that if
Daddy
you say I can go get candy, I can.
Yeah.
Right. This, like that things. I find it very interesting also because in all those years that I'm taking also seminars with you guys, you sometimes, or you most of the times, compare employees with kids. And this is really my experience also. When people ask me, do you have children? And I say, oh yes, a lot. Most of them are my age. or a little younger. So I mean, and I don't mean that like in a bad way, but it is a way, that those people are also little like my kids, and sometimes they behave like that. And like Anna and me as daddy and daddy, we have to manage that. And yeah, the results are better when we stand together and then stand united and just, and if there's something we don't, like a misunderstanding or something, like we talk, we discuss it in private and not in front of everybody. So this is the one thing. And also the working together changed immensely since we stand together, since we gave up a fight, since we gave up who is the better manager, since we gave up who is the better actor, artist, or whatever. And we really became a unit, and we really became the two of us, the faces of the company these days. That is the second thing. And the other thing is like in the private relationship, you're standing together, the giving up the fight, giving up the no, giving up all that, or seeing when it comes, it really makes a huge difference. The being like the united we stand thing has so much power for me. And yeah.
Sweet. Didn't you and your company win an award again this past year for?
Yes, we
What
won.
was it?
It was this award is a musical award in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland for in all the categories, but they are only they're giving it for original plays, not like not for Phantom of the Opera and things that are existing already. And I write a musical show every year. So we were nominated, and we 2 years ago won the award for best play, and last year I won the prize for best director.
I'm so sorry for you.
Me too. Yeah.
Actually, I'm so proud of you guys, tell you the truth, because, well, it's hard to hear other people when they give you information that you may not want to hear. And most of us don't want to hear what we don't want to hear because we're afraid we're going to have to change or do something. But you've been willing to be coached to see your brilliance. It's hard to,
which is the hardest thing of all, actually,
to accept or allow, because no, I'm ordinary. I'm not like
I'm
special.
Normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're uniquely yourself.
Yes.
And thank you for that.
Thank you too. And if I may, coming back to the children thing, I just saw one thing, because we sometimes think of the employees like children and parents, but we don't treat them like children. I think this is like a very important thing, that we don't think less of them or something. And recently we had something, I was in Berlin at a conference, and we had a fire in the entrance of the theater. And Arne was handling it there. I did my best to bring information and insurance company and all that. And all the others, like the employees, we were all working as a team. And that was really great. And
United also, together, it's not just the two of you now, it's the whole team.
Right.
Well, it's interesting. You say that you don't treat them like children, but it's interesting. Yesterday, Shya and I were at a barbecue with a bunch of friends, and Andy Schneeflock, who is coming with us to Hamburg to co-lead a course there called Improv Your Way to the Moment when we're in Hamburg in October. His daughter came limping over because she had a little stick that had poked her leg. And she's like, Daddy, I hurt my leg, my foot, look. And he's like, oh. And he took it, he looked at it very seriously, and said, I can fix this. I'll just cut your foot off. That'll get rid of the whole thing. And she's like, no, that will hurt more. And she was laughing, we were laughing, he was laughing. But he's like, well, okay, if that's not an option, how about I kiss it? Maybe that'll be better. And she's like, okay. So he grabbed her leg and her foot and kissed her ankle. And he's like, is it better now? And she's like, yes. And then she ran off to play with the kids in the sprinkler in the slip and slide water balloony area. And we all looked at each other and goes, she just needed a little attention. But he didn't treat her like she was less or
any, and he didn't treat her like she was an intrusion or a child. She was part of the experience of being in that moment.
And even when he said, okay, I'll just take the foot off, it wasn't like, you're being stupid, I could just cut it was just so in fun and made it so big that she was giggling and loved herself. And I see that for you guys with your staff. They come, maybe they just need a little attention, or which is not something that diminutizes anybody. It's just a fact of life that sometimes you need some extra care.
Right. And I'm so happy about that knowledge. And sometimes I see it like this, and then I like, okay, what's going on? I just talk to the person and say, hey, is everything okay? What can we do for you?
I know we have another couple of guests, but before you go, I also want to mention, I love how when you're creating a show, Shya and I've talked about this before, you look at the talents of the people in your company and you're like, oh, I'm going to write this one this year for this person. I'm going to highlight that person. Like, you do things so that they get a sense of themselves and that the audience gets that treat. And I really admire that.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us.
Yeah. Say the title again of it was United We Stand.
United We Stand, right.
Awesome.
When you put that into the search machine,
you'll get it.
You'll get it. It's there.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Our pleasure.
Do you want to have well-being with consistency? Connect with people all over the world from the comfort of your own home at Ariel and Shya's lively interactive Living Made Easy virtual seminars. Join any of their 2-hour online events or take a deep dive into the magic of being you at a virtual weekend seminar. Come on, let's connect. Find out more and register at transformationmadeeasy.com.
One of the things that Ralph often does with us is when we do Costa Rica, he and Arna come early and help us with the logistics. They're so good at it now. It just reminded me that we hadn't mentioned Costa Rica 2027. Any of our weekend workshops or seminars are the prerequisite to be able to attend in January in Costa Rica.
Yes.
We have some transformational time and project management in September. It's our virtual course for the season. It's the 26th and 27th.
And we're doing Improv Your Way to the Moment, October 29th in Hamburg. That's a Thursday. And Magical Relationships, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
October 30th, 31st, November 1st. And if you're coming, you may as well schedule through the 2nd. We have an open evening. It makes it open to the public. you don't have to attend the weekend in order to come to the Monday. And it's like gives you 4 days around amazing people. So it's worth the investment. Let's take our next guest.
Yes.
Susan and Michelle.
Hello.
Welcome to being here.
Hello,
Hi, I'm Susan,
and I'm Michelle.
and we're in Ocean Grove, New Jersey.
Nice having you with us.
It's a pleasure being here.
Yes.
Congratulations on 1,000 episodes.
Thank you.
We didn't plan it, you know.
We've just been living it. We were speaking to our accountant the other day, and he's been our money manager and good friend. He's Josh, who's taken care of us since the very beginning of our business. And he's like, you guys are still so busy and active, and it's so wonderful. You've got the podcasts, and you've got the blogs, and you have the videos and the seminars. And, you know, who would have guessed that 44 years after we got together would still be doing this? And it only gets better and easier.
What else can we do but live our lives
Right.
the way we do?
So it's so nice to be
We
with
could
you.
get lost in complaint about everything, like
That's true. And that's a good segue for this episode.
Yes.
Well, we chose Gaurav's insight. The choice is always yours.
The choice is always yours. It wasn't called Gaurav's Insight, right?
Well, it actually, that's what was on the listing. That was there.
Wow.
Well, yeah.
Okay, cool.
But yes, the choice is always yours, December 10th, 2025. And I wrote down a quote from it, from you guys. In every moment, you're making a difference. And the difference you make is up to you. I love that. I love that because
not to put a pressure on you, but really it is up to you. You can get lost in complaint. It's so simple, and the world around us is always ready to listen to complaints. Not that they're going to do anything about it.
You two have made such a difference in our lives and in the lives of so many. I'm just so moved.
I am too.
Susan and I, when we were like teenagers, went to American Conservatory Theater together. But aside from
you
that,
didn't realize it until many
years later, because we were pretty self-involved, you know, teenagers. But you know, I know you went through major health challenges. You were one of the first people I knew who got breast cancer, and you were so forthcoming about it. And you and Michelle took such great care of each other during that time that when I was diagnosed in the spring, I was with breast cancer and then had operation. And, you know, we're pre-recording this now. So I start radiation
this week,
tomorrow. I've always been like, Susan can do it, I can do it. And I didn't hide it from people. And there have been multiple people who went and got mammograms, and multiple people discovered breast cancer in early stages. And by the way, if you're listening and you're eligible and you're a female, although I do know somebody who had it as a male, but get yourself checked. Doesn't hurt. Okay, they squish your boob and it's not fun, but you know, you're just such a
bright light.
Thank you. It's funny because when I look back at that time, being diagnosed and going through a mastectomy, it was you guys that supported me in speaking up on the Living Made Easy seminars. I felt so safe to be honest and not hide. So thank you both.
Well, you know, transformation is based in honesty. It's about what is, not about protecting, hiding.
reminds me about what they talk about maybe many kinds of trees, but for sure aspen trees, that you can have a grove of aspen here and you can have one miles away and they all are the same tree. They're one tree.
They share the same root
They
system.
same same root system, the same DNA. And I feel like this community, including the listeners who we've never met, it's like this root structure that holds each other up in the strong winds and also just shares a commonality that is inspirational. Even you, Michelle, who's an American now.
Yes. Since last year, yes.
We have a few flags. I'm showing them now. They sit here at his desk all the time.
And yeah, I just want to emphasize that's also for me, that's my experience, for one, that the community is a meshwork. You know, it's I feel like I can be myself without second guessing myself. And that's also why the title of the show that we decided on was so, or is so appealing to me, because it says the choice is always yours. That's a blessing. But sometimes it's also it's a bit of a challenge when I'm in an upset, because then I have to admit to myself and be responsible and say, well, it's your choice, you know, it's always you or me. And
Oh, isn't that inconvenient? Wouldn't you like it to be her or him or it?
yes, it's like a love-hate relationship.
Well, it's kind of a drag to realize that you are so mechanical that the universe can blip and you get upset, you know?
And I also want to say it's, you know, talking about the Susan's Health episode a few years ago, it was spectacularly unspectacular in the sense that there was no real drama. I mean, there was upset, there was a little fear maybe, but it's if I compared my reaction to, or if I hadn't met you guys on transformation and the community, I'm sure I would have reacted very differently. And just attending these seminars regularly. I'm a producer of the podcast, so I hear the podcasts. Has just made such a difference, and yeah, I'm grateful to you, the community, and the listeners. You know, that's it makes a difference.
There have been a lot of people over the years who supported this. I mean, the woman who originally approached us, I'm not even sure I remember her last name for sure. Cheryl Halsey, I believe.
I thought it was Halsey.
Or Halsey. Either Cheryl, that is. She was lovely, and she was our producer for just a few shows, and then she left the company and other people stepped in, and then Susan Donlin over the years produced. A lot of people, different people helped us create episode titles, and even in some of the seminars we've done, we've asked people to come up with a silly title and a sexy title and a serious title, and they've come up with, just for fun, and they've come up with some really incredible things that we've done over the years. So everybody, and now we have a whole team who produces and writes and puts it up on the web, and it is really like a mesh. And so a shout out to all of you, and thank you all for investing and making transformation available to the world. That's always been our dream. We realized even when we wrote our first book, Working on Yourself Doesn't Work, a book about instantaneous transformation, that was the original title before McGraw-Hill bought it. We realized that we couldn't be everywhere all at once, and it was way prior to the internet being so ubiquitous. And we wanted to make what we had available to anybody who was looking. So thank you, Michelle, for helping to make it available to anybody who's been looking.
My pleasure. And I'm sure I'm speaking for everyone on the team, producers, editors, inviters, logistics. You're welcome. And it's our pleasure.
Mm.
That doesn't leave you out, Susan.
Oh, I feel very much included. Thank you.
Good. I just want you to know
Okay.
we appreciate you.
Isn't it fun to be able to be in the presence of somebody who's being acknowledged, and you feel the radiance of it rather than the insecurity of what about me?
Yes, truly.
Mm. Yeah,
Lovely.
it's lovely. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, such a treat. I have a surprise for you at the end here, Shya.
What's that?
Well, first, before we get there, I just want to say, if
Surprise.
yeah, I'll
Oh,
tell you in a
I-
minute, you can subscribe to this podcast and share it with your friends. And you can also subscribe to our newsletter. We have a great newsletter, videos, we have blogs, we have expressions from people in the community. You are welcome. You can find that and all of our courses and the newsletter sign up link at transformationmadeeasy.com. Next week's episode is artificial unintelligence. Whoa, you'll see what that is. Okay, you guys ready? So
Yeah.
we'll be back next week. So come on back
And
don't
miss being here. Is that a nice surprise?
Yeah, thanks
Oh.
everyone. Good being here.